Confucius, which was a Chinese philosopher, he said this so beautifully. He said, what I see, I forget. What I hear, I remember. But what I do, I know. Okay? So what you don't know is on the other side of the doing. And these guys, the reason why they run back is because they have all these imaginary evils.
But also what they're running back to, comfort.
That's right. We are running back to comfort. So that's what Steve Siebold, he talks about. He talks about when human beings, we are experiencing emotional or physical pain. Like our brain is going to be like, bro, why the fuck, why are we doing this? Why are we suffering, right? It's normal. And if you don't have a why that you could put in front of it, you're going to glide over to comfort. And that's where you see some of the greatest, they have a why. Like Cristiano Ronaldo, he wanted to really prove himself, but also help his family out of poverty. And if you read about all the big guys, they have a big why. And then the $1 million question is, how do I develop a why? Now, question, Charlie, this one is good. I can give people, this is good value here. I believe so. Is discipline a choice or a skill?
I think it's a skill.
Okay. Is consistency a choice or a skill?
That's a choice, I think.
Okay. And what about kindness? Is that a choice or a skill?
A skill.
All right. If I put a gun to your head, could you be more disciplined?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a choice.
Okay.
Right? Now, that's the beauty of it. So when it's a choice, right? Kindness is a choice, consistency is a choice, discipline is a choice. So why don't people just choose it? So I thought about that with myself. Why
It's not enough consequences.
Yeah, that's good. And well, so do you agree with me that everything you have in your life is literally based on all the decisions you have made since you became, an adult?
100%.
There you go.
That's taking ownership of the situation you're in. So like you are where you are because of everything you've done that's led you to that point.
That's right. And you're conscious about it.
Yeah.
And also, do you believe that the choices we make, human beings, the choices we make is based on perspective? We can only make a decision based on the perspective we have.
Yeah, the information you have at hand at that time.
The perspective you have. That's good. So for you to be more disciplined, what do you need?
More choice? Oh no, sorry, to not make the choice, just to do it.
A different perspective.
Okay.
So when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I'll give you an example. I go in to a mastermind. How many in here has done 500K a year for the last 5 years? And let's just say that 90% of the hands comes up. How many in here have done 2 millions? And then you have 1% coming up. Great. How many in here would like to make 2 millions? Hands comes up. Everyone comes up. The question, what is the chance that all of you have made 500,000 in a year, that you're going to make $2 million the next 12 months? Don't freaking lie. 5%, 3%, very low percentage will come up because they've been struggling for 5 to 10 years to get to that level, right? And then you have the delusional dude down in the corner. 90%. Now, let me change the perspective for you guys. Who has children? Most of them have children. Okay, I'm going to put a gun to their head and I'm going to shoot them in their face if you don't make 2 million in the next 12 months. What is the percentage chance that you're going to make that? Now, most of them, especially men, will come up with a hand that says 90%, 95%. What happened? The perspective changed. So that's what I figured. So that's what I'm teaching. So discipline, consistency, and kindness, and all these things that is actually choices based on our character and our perspectives, our identity, our belief systems. To give a person a big why, you just need to help him with the perspective. So I figured that out because when my daughter was born and I took responsibility for her, my perspective changed from me to serve her. And I became unbreakable, bro. And there you have it. And that's a lot of these people who run back home. They don't have that perspective. You have a perspective that by now you have a fear of failing. You have an excitement. So your perspective makes you dangerous. And
well, yeah, I'm driven by two things. I'm driven by the fear of fucking it all up.
Yes.
And I'm driven by the excitement of where I'm going.
That's right.
So I'm being pulled and pushed at the same time.
Pulled and pushed. But you're also suffering a lot from it. You are.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what Steve Siebold, he talks about. That's the upper class people. They're smart people, hardworking, but they play not to lose. And that's a very, very, very hard place to be because you're so afraid of losing what you got. Now, world-class people, they play to win. They don't give a fuck what they have. They just want to be the best. To get that level of awareness, you need a perspective. And I entered that now. Not all the time. I still have fear of stuff, but I have to change my way. When you get to that level, you're quite free because you do not connect your... When you get stripped off everything, Charlie, the identity that you have is gone. Because my identity was my Porsche, it was my money, it was my champagne bottles, it was my cocaine trips, it was my whatever. And now I was poor. And I looked myself in the mirror, who am I? And I had to accept that. And then I started to really work on myself. Now I'm there where, I just want to be the best at it. But I have to catch myself because sometimes now I'm like, ooh, now I can buy a business class again. Ooh, I can actually pay for Charlie's dinner now, And I just have to not connect my identity with something that could be taken away from me.
And is that also because some of that can install complacency?
Well, it comes from, a place of scarcity, to be honest. It comes from us thinking there is not enough. And it also comes from us thinking that we are more worth when we have all these things. But when you start to, instead of validating yourself externally and you validate yourself internally, you become super powerful because you literally don't give a fuck. And that's what I learned.
And for, say, anyone listening to that, what would be your process to try and get someone to that point?
So that is a journey of understanding a different worldview. It's a journey of understanding a different perspective. So I would say buy my course, literally. So if people have to go to that level, they have to learn. Okay, I can say it. So there's different. So the reason why spirituality and spiritual teachings are so powerful is because they change your perspective, right? And they make you make better choices. And look more different at yourself. One of those spiritual teachings that I really love, and this will elevate people so much, that's the Toltecs that comes from South Mexico. I know Joe Rogan has talked about them as well. And there's a book you can read about it. It's The Four Agreements. It's an amazing book. You're probably going to get bored as fuck by it, but this one is pretty good. They teach you 4 rules to live by. Number 1 is always be impeccable with your word. Like to yourself and to others. So how many times do we catch ourselves talking shit to ourselves and to others in our own mind, right? Just always be impeccable. Catch yourself in it and be impeccable. That's number 1. Number 2, take nothing personal. Like how do you do that, right? Take nothing personal. Number 3, make no assumptions. No assumptions. And number 4, always do your best, even when you take a shit or when you go to shower or when you need to meet a new person. And those 4 things will teach you the art of detachment. And when you are detached, you're dangerous.
And do you think that attachment is what affects people's decision-making and actions and outcomes?
100%. What does people think about me? That's a big one.
And fear of loss.
Fear of loss. Oh my God, who am I if I don't have this?
So I see a big thing in terms of people with their business. It's like they're afraid to invest into their business in terms of someone like coaching them, or they're afraid to invest money into ads to try and grow their business.
They're fear of losing what they got.
Because they're so attached to like, here is where I am.
Yes.
Rather than like, where can I go, if that makes sense?
You're so fucking right. I'd give you, I give you one. I'm sitting in California, I was just there. My credit card, my access to my credit cards are blocked because I bought a new phone. I didn't have access to the OTPs here in Dubai. So I was literally screwed. So I had to call my guys and I had no idea what's on my bank account. And I've just been investing heavily in marketing efforts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I didn't have good months for 3 months due to a salesperson that I hired that was shit. And I'm sitting here and I'm now going to Arizona and I just think, I don't give a shit. If I pay and it's good, there's money, you know? And I go to Arizona and I meet up with Andy and his team and some other guys, et cetera. And I do a good impression with them. And his marketing team decides to want to work with me. And they call me and say, hey, Mike, we want to do your webinars and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, hey, let's do it. And yeah, it's going to be 10K. I didn't even flinch. I just said, okay, send me the link. I had no idea if I had 10K. And I don't know if I have money enough for the rent, but I've tried this before. I know it's going to come and I'm going to figure it out. So I paid, ding, it went through. Okay, it works. But I didn't have access to my bank account. And that's what people, they really are scared of invest. So if you are in a business of coaching, if you don't invest in marketing, you're going to be out. Like if you rely all of I was just very lucky and very strategically put up together in my business. But if you rely on content and leads and sales, you're going to be like, you're going to be screaming all the time. But if you come up with a system for your ads, which is what you're selling, I can just say that, you're going to be solid. Like without ads, you're nothing. Forget about it. If you don't want to invest in ads, you're stupid. As soon as I saw $2,000 gave me $5, I increased it to $4. I just increased it. And now I got more shitty leads. I don't give a shit. I still make 10. And as soon as I saw that for 1 month, now I'm increasing it to 10. And as soon as I increase it to 20. And I'm going to continue. And that's what people don't dare to do.
Well, this is also, I think, what people don't realize is like, the reality is on like pretty much any decision you make, the risk of like the downside is so small to the potential upside.
Yes.
And it's kind of like that saying of like, what you know is limited, but what you don't know is limitless.
I love that one.
The upside is fucking limitless. Like,
yeah.
In terms of like information, knowledge, if you get a system with ads like that works, like how much money that can make you over a period of years is invaluable. And I invested so much at the beginning of my career in terms of like learning skills that now pay off every single day for me. Then the upside on that is like unquantifiable.
Unquantifiable. And I love that you say that also, because that's another thing that and we forget this, Charlie, but there's another thing that people also forget. Time is more valuable than money. And the time that you have spent on knowing what you know that you can give to people, they don't want to pay 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K from that, is stupid. Then spend 10 years of your life. Good luck.
I'll give you a great example. It just reminds me, I had a call with a client yesterday. It's like, oh, my VSL's not working. I was like, okay, fuck it, just like show it to me. I was like, dude, like your sales calendar, you have 2 call spots a day. No one can fucking book in.
Oh.
So I think fucking like that doesn't work. We ran his website through a speed testing thing, and it like takes like 10 seconds to load. I'm like, this is never going to fucking work. You're wasting like 20 grand a month on ads to a system that's broken, but you haven't even seen this yet.
Oh God, he could have gone 6 months without seeing it.
And that was in like 2 minutes. I was like,
and that's what I mean. So that knowledge of you having this, listen, okay, you have a problem. Let's run it through my checklist of problems I've seen all the time. That is worth so much. And people that don't, no. I'm not going to invest. Okay, but then fuck off and have your problem for life. I'm fine with that. So I didn't have money to invest in my own problem. I had to go deep. But you also have, I'm a psychopath. Not in terms of that, but I'm a psychopath. I just knew I needed to read. So I spent my entire days reading, studying, eating fruits. I didn't have money for meat. So I ate fruits. And I tried to eat fruits that put the food in my belly so I wasn't that hungry. And I was studying for hours. Well, who wants to do that? Nobody. So if you have the problem that I had, which was self-sabotage, I kept giving my own way, and you want to get rid of it, well, either you can do what I did, you can crash completely, and your wife leaves you, your business goes down, or you can just live by having this mediocre performance in your life because you keep screwing it up, or you can go study really deep like I did, or you can buy me.
Why do you think high performers self-sabotage?
I think high functioning men that can run a business, but their private life is just fucking screwed, comes many times from the childhood. Self-sabotage is kind of a memory for your brain on how things is supposed to be. So give an example. Your brain's job is to make sure that the belief that you have matches the actions you take. Okay? So if I grew up in a dysfunctional family, the way I saw love was a lot of fighting. My mom and dad was, they separated many times, and they came back, separated, came back. My father he was a paranoid schizophrenic, bro. It's a very hard guy to live with. And again, when I became older, I saw that my mom doesn't have much empathy either. So my first girlfriend, when things started to get too good, my brain said that's not the love I know. The love I know is that we break up. So I broke up with her. I broke up with her 10 times. 10 times. And I'm so sorry, Camilla. But I didn't know that. So my definition of love and my belief were separation. So that's self-sabotage. So many times when high functioning men, they self-sabotage themselves, is because of that. The other reason is because they have had to perform in a certain, or felt they had to be in a certain way to be loved. There was a condition to their love. And that's why they are so focused on being that version for them to feel that they can be loved. And then they screw everything else. So that's the biggest reasons.
Do you think a lot of those type of people are living a lie as well? Like the outside of their life doesn't reflect the inside?
100%. 100%. So when
do you think that's one of the things that stops them getting to where they want to be? Is
it's 100%.
They're a facade? Because I see it all the time. People I coach.
Oh yeah. But then you have the high function. Self-sabotage exists in every person. It's not only rich men or high performing men, but high performing men. They have a bigger problem because it really gets to them at night. But then you have men who has never really understood the commitment for earning money. Well, they have just a lot of limiting beliefs. But a high functioning man, he will realize this problem because he will, at some point in his life, why the fuck can I run a business but I can't run a relationship? What's wrong with me? What the fuck is that? What am I doing? Why can I do a $10 million business a year but I can't control my eating? You know, he has a very clear example.
He's almost fucking retarded.
Yeah, he's like, I'm fucking retarded. Like, some point he wakes up. Like, why am I fat? What's wrong with me? So, but then you have the guys who haven't yet built that commitment, so they will just believe that, oh, that's who I am. They will accept it, right? So I learned one big lesson in this Johnny. I learned a big lesson, and that is you know how we get limiting beliefs. We are of course born with a lot of them. You know, what we feel we are worth, and what, you know, everything we grow up. And when you grow up from 0 to 6 years old, you're like a clean slate of paper, and all the authority is around you, their beliefs and attitudes and politics or whatever. It's going to be yours. But then when you grow older, limiting beliefs is born if you keep breaking promises to yourself. The trust to yourself goes down. The same thing if I was your friend. If I never showed up, and I always said something, did something else, you would lose trust to me, right? And if you keep breaking promises to yourself, your trust goes down, your self-esteem, your worth goes down, you wouldn't value yourself as high. And then you will develop a belief that is, I am the guy who doesn't follow through. And if you're the guy who doesn't follow through, what do you think your goals, like, so then you, like, for example, I always quit on 6 miles on the treadmill. There's no way I'm going to do a marathon because I always quit at 6 miles. Because you're the guy who doesn't follow through. So all the goals out there that you have, you're not going to believe in them anyway. You don't know this. So it's not like you're having this thought process.
So subconsciously this is happening.
Subconsciously, you just see it as a scam, or you see it as something not right now, or you see it as, right? So because your brain will rationalize to make you feel better about yourself. No, that's nothing for me.
It's a self-justification.
That's right. And that's how you are now completely limited, because you have these limiting beliefs. But when you do the reverse effect of it, your confidence gets... My confidence has never been higher. I'm so confident, it's unbelievable. I'm delusional. I know I'm going to be number one in the world. I'm literally delusional. I'm living on a cloud of delusions because I keep my promises. My self-worth is so high. No, I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what you think about anyone. I love myself so much. I'm so happy with who I am. Then I have developed a belief that I am the guy who shows up. And it's just a matter of time. I know I'm going to fail. I'm not going to fail, but I show up and I learn. And that's where your limiting beliefs disappears.
I think that's the big framework I'd say from that is the showing up part. Because I think that's where most people go wrong, is the consistency in showing up when it's hard, and like the day in, day out fucking monotony of it.
That's correct. But it's in everything. If you've gotten the idea, I need to fold my socks tonight, and you don't do it. Or if you are, for example, okay, I'm not going to get irritated at my wife. Okay, then you don't think that thought. So then you really have to work with yourself for not getting irritated, because now you expose yourself for that idea. Or I'm going to come home for dinner the next 5 days in time. So you really have to watch out what you think.
Subconsciously, is there a way to kind of rewire yourself from these type of things?
Yeah. So.
Or do you think that's just a process of time of the right habits
It's
to kind of reinstall a new pattern.
Yes, it's the exposure of new perspectives over a period of time. That's it. So take an example. You take a CIA agent, you put him into a concentration camp, and he turned out to be a suicide bomber. How? Well, he's been exposed for intense brainwash. Well, listen, everything is brainwash. Either you're going to be brainwashed to be a delusional superhero number one, kind, disciplined guy, or you're going to be brainwashed into be an average society guy who has limiting beliefs and eats McDonald's. Everything is a brainwash. So you just need to be exposed for that perspective, those ideas, for an intense, long enough time for you to act on it. Because when you act as if, that's the law of prosperity. Law of prosperity says act as if. Because if you do that enough, you're going to believe in it. Or in other words, if you pray for success, but you plan for failure, what do you think you're going to get?
Something else I think about a lot is that, like, just try not to behave like normal people or do things that normal people do. Because the reason they are normal is because they take normal actions, they think like normal people.
Oh, that's a
so
good
I
one.
can kind of think completely differently than everyone else. Like, for example, most people will finish their work day at 5, 6 p.m. It's like, well, what if I just work in the evenings as well, if I want to? Like, why do you have to do a certain thing because it's normal, if that makes sense?
God, man, have you heard the society? Men, we are fucked. You have to be home at 4. You have to have 50% the kids. The women, you know, now they want to have a career. You know, listen, I have a sister, I have a mother, I have a daughter. I love women. But the society have told them a lie. Deep inside a woman's heart, she wants to be a mother. Deep inside, like by nature, she wants to be a mother. But she has been told for decades now that she has to be a career woman. That is screwing us so much. And then men has been slapped so hard for being men that now we are being told that we have to be mothers. Brother, I have no idea how a mother can be a mother and how nurturing she can be for a kid the first year. The first year of my daughter's growth, don't misunderstand me, but I didn't see a human being. That was a clump of flesh where I didn't get any energy exchange from it. While her mother, man, she was enjoying it so much when she was breastfeeding her. I could just see how much they were connecting. And she came to me, isn't she nice? And she started crying. I got irritated. Why the fuck she's crying so much? Until she became 2 years and she started talking. I'm in love with my daughter so bad. So we have something in us that is a natural thing, but we are being brainwashed by, you know, the mass public opinion. And the same thing is with our limiting beliefs. So you go out to a population of people that sits and they have all jobs, 8 to 5, or what do you call it, 8 to 4, 9 to 5. And you're going to say, I'm going to become an entrepreneur. Oh my God, are you crazy? Are you not scared of, what about this? All they probably mean it well. But all of their fears now is penetrating your brain. Versus now you're going to go over to a camp of entrepreneurs who've been entrepreneurs like you and me. We've been it for 2 decades or a long time. And I'm going to be an entrepreneur. That's great, bro, man. How are you going to start it? You see, those 2 different camps of brainwash is taking over. So you got to watch out who you hang with, man.
I'll give you an example. It almost made me think of this, but like someone asked me the other day, like, oh, like, so like, when do you start and finish work? I was like, well, from when my eyes open to my eyes closed, I'm kind of like on it because I'm just thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm not doing it, I'm probably thinking about it unless I'm doing something else. So I think that's where, and you talk about like working hours, it's like 12 to 12, it's like 24 hours because if you're...
But that's also funny. Who taught them to think about work from this hour?
But why?
Yeah.
So like that's also, I think people need to take of like challenging the conventional norm, because if you want to be normal, then do normal shit, you will be normal and you won't fucking get anywhere. Because the people who do weird shit get weird results, right?
Yeah.
So like, I want to be weird and get like phenomenal results, so I'm gonna have to do some weird fucking things to kind of get there.
That's right.
And I probably put myself through some weird situations to get to the end of the rainbow that I'm seeking to get to.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, but I agree. But yet again, I do also understand people because it's so nice to have a job and not have to struggle so much with your fears, anxiety, and pressure. Like you're constantly under pressure, right, as an entrepreneur. So I do understand a lot of people.
But do you think human beings normalize to that?
I think it's an option now.
Because even, for example, if I sold all my businesses, made a load of money, and I said like had $100 million and I didn't have to work, part of me is almost like, I don't know how I'd I don't know how I'd even react in some respects. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think initially it would probably be sick, and then I probably after 2 weeks I'd be like, I'm really fucking bored. I'm going to start another business or do something.
Yeah, but you're in that mindset now.
Yeah.
So you've been brainwashed now.
To the other narrative. Yeah.
So you have those perspectives now, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But let's be honest, so you have overcome the fears. But it is more comfortable to know that every month you're going to get this paid, and this cannot be taken away from you.
There's less volatility.
Yes. And that's comfortable. Like, I was having a call with a guy, the younger guy that I'm helping, and he's trying to build a business, and he's been stuck in the same phase for a long time. He's not part of any programs, and he's way below the level that I coach, but I wanted to help him a little bit. And I said, so what's holding you back? Are you ready? Yeah, it's because I just wish, a lot of my friends that I'm hanging around with, they are not in the same. They don't want to be entrepreneurs. They are employees. And it's just like, I'm getting a little bit sick of hanging with them, and I'm not getting motivated. I said, sorry, is that what keeps you stuck? Yeah, because, I know I need to move away from them, but it's just like, I need that psychologically safety. I said, excuse me? What did you just say? I need that psychological, it's very healthy to have those relationships. Bro, who the fuck told you that? Like, how did you get that idea? No, but that's what everyone says. Oh my God.
But do you want to be like everyone?
Yeah, that's right. So that's because everyone said, no, relationships are very important. I said, bro, I have been the last two years on my own. And before that, it was 5 years on my own. I don't miss anyone. And I don't need anyone around me besides, 1, 2, or 3 people. That's all I need. And they don't have necessarily to be on the same journey. Anyway, so I had to take him from that belief. My point is just, that was literally was holding him back. That he believed it was very dangerous to start his journey on his own without friends. I'm like, bro, that's what we all do. We literally let go of a lot of friends on our journey.
But also, that's probably why a lot of people start really stupid businesses with friends.
Or start businesses with stupid friends.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
yeah.
I think that's that kind of paradigm. But also, I think you outgrow people as you grow. So like, and it's just a natural progression. So I think if you take the right actions, the right people come into your life at the right time.
Like, look at you and me.
Yeah.
Like listen, like you and I, we are lone wolves. We'd rather be alone than hang with people that we don't cling with. And we met each other. I'm like, I like this guy, man. Yeah. Okay, he likes to work out. He likes his business. I like this guy. And now I have a friend. I can always call you. But that, you got to go on that journey and dare to be alone. I believe in this, Charlie. You got to do it alone, but you can't do it by yourself. So just, what I mean here is that I'm many hours alone. I'm away from home. I'm living in a suitcase right now. I'm literally traveling in the world. Sometimes I don't know. You never know if you have the revenue. You never know if shit happens, right? But I'm in my suitcase, and all I know is that I'm going to be number one. And I don't care if I shall sleep in a camping van, as long as I have Wi-Fi. I'm going to be number one. And that takes brass balls, man.
Now, if you enjoyed this clip and you're a coach, creator, or a business owner and you want help in terms of how to scale your business using ads, AI, content, marketing, a lot of things we talk about on the show, then hit the link at the top line of our description in the YouTube video. You can book on a call with us and we'll walk through the whole process, audit your business, and show you where there's huge, huge opportunities for you to scale.